Well, hey folks, and welcome to Solarcabin channel. I know it's been a while since I made a video, and I've had quite a few people contact me asking me if anything was wrong, if I got hurt, or maybe the black helicopters and the feds come and picked me up. No, everything's fine. In the summer, I go up in the mountains and do a lot of camping and adventuring up there and things like that. So I'm not around my cabin all that much, but I did come back. And for the last month or so, I've been doing a remodel on the interior of my cabin. Now, a little story about my place. When I moved here, I was basically homeless and broke, okay? And by the time I got the cabin built, I really didn't have any money left over to do a very good job on the interior. I just put up some drywall, and I used old cedar fence boards for shelves. And it worked. There's nothing wrong with that. You make do with what you have at the time, okay? But, you know, it's been a few years now, so I think I can do a better job. And so I put a little bit of money, and I set aside $500. That was my budget. I set aside $500 and decided to put that into remodeling the interior. And I think I did a pretty good job, and I kept it. I went a little bit over. I went about $600. I got a fancy hood. I'll show you a range hood that ran it over my budget, but not that much. I still kept it under $600. And in this video, I'll show you some of the products and stuff that I used, maybe some design ideas. Now, my cabin is not one of those houses out of one of those fancy home and garden magazines, okay? It is lived in by an old biker homesteader, outdoorsman, and two great big dogs, and the occasional girlfriend. So don't expect it to be all fancy and frilly like those houses you see in those magazines. It's designed for a person like me. But maybe there's some products and ideas and things like that that don't cost that much that maybe you'll get some ideas for your cabins that will make them just a little bit more nice to live in. So that's what I'm going to show you here, is just some of the products, some of the interior features that I've designed into my own cabin, and I hope that they inspire some ideas for you. Okay, so one of the first things you need to know about my cabin is it is 14 by 14 feet. It has an upstairs loft. There's the ladder to it. It has a 5-foot by 7-foot bathroom, and I'm still working on the remodel of the bathroom, so you don't get to see that today, but I'll show you what I've done on the interior here. So this is my living area. And I got a real nice leather couch with two recliners. There's two recliners on the end of that. And it's 7 feet long. And I got that so there would also be a bed for my son when he comes and visits, and big enough for him because he's a big guy. And it's a real nice couch. You'd be surprised that I can fit that into a 14 by 14 foot living room. But my living room is about 7 feet wide. Okay? And you can see my back door there with the glass panel on it. Now the plan is I'm going to be building an addition off the back of the cabin, a 12 by 14 addition that will go off of that back door there. Dang camera. I will be building an addition that goes off of that door right there and goes off the back side. That will be a 12 by 14 addition. So here you can see some of the stuff on my walls here. I just put up some shelves, some nice shelves that I got on a discount on sale. And the wall behind it is what I've replaced. Now this is all done in pine tongue and groove paneling, okay? It's not solid sheets of paneling. Each strip is 3 inches wide and 8 feet long. So you have to put them up individually. Now I already had drywall on those walls. So what I did is I just put this right over the drywall, and then I just used paneling nails and attached it to the studs. And as you can see, it does a real nice job. It makes it look like a log interior in here. And that's not that expensive. It only cost me probably about $150 to $200 for all of the wood paneling. And I went all the way around the interior, including in the kitchen. Okay, so you can see that. Got it in the kitchen here too. Close these blinds so you can see. There we go. So you can see it goes all the way around the kitchen, behind the kitchen, with the pine paneling. And then I did leave my old cedar fence boards. I haven't decided if I'm going to replace them or not. But I left my cedar fence board wall on this bathroom wall just to kind of make it look different. I may eventually replace that too. Now over here, sitting on my couch, I have a new fake fireplace, if you want to call that. What it is, I use some rock surround, which I got a 4x8 sheet of rock surround at a good price because it was a little bit stained. And I made a surround with a mantle. You can see there. It's got a nice mirror above it, a couple of candles, little shelves, just to kind of spark it up in here. But then this is a blue flame propane heater instead of a fireplace, which is a lot more efficient, and it can be run all the time. I can even leave the place and I don't have to worry about it like you would with a wood stove. I will be putting a wood stove out in the addition. When I build the addition out there, I'll be putting a wood stove out there to help with the heat. But because I do leave my cabin a lot, I use this propane furnace, which is a 20,000 BTU propane furnace, and it heats it right up in here and isn't that expensive to run. So that's what I use. And I just tried to make it look a little bit more like a fireplace. I still need to do some trim work on this. I need to get some oak board to match that mantle, and that'll go around all the way around that stove to finish it up. And then I left that panel down there. You can see it can be detached. So just unscrew it. That way, if I need to, I can get to the hoses underneath that propane furnace. But that'll all be covered up with some nice trim work. So looking here from my couch, you can see I've got some walls with some pictures on it. And this painting here was actually done by my mother. She painted that especially for me before she passed away last year. She decided she wanted to paint something for me special, so she painted a cabin. I'll try to show this to you. She painted a cabin over a lake, because I was always talking. This is before I had built my cabin that she painted this. She painted these deer with this cabin over this lake, and that's something that's really special to me, so that hangs over my walls. And then I'm also a bike rider, so I got some biker stuff up on my walls here. I love old motorcycles, and I love to ride motorcycles and rebuild motorcycles, so I have my collection of Harley mugs and stuff on my shelves up there, and an old lantern and stuff like that. Okay, in the kitchen. Now this is my chest freezer, and right now it's here in the house. This is also going to be going in that new addition. This is just a small chest freezer that can be run off solar, and I keep my frozen food in that. And when I show you my solar system, which I'm revamping, I'll explain how to use these products like that. But I have a chest freezer in here, and then next to that is my kitchen table, which you can see is kind of cluttered up right now, and I'll tell you why. I've got a bunch of stuff on this kitchen table, but I can seat 4 people. Once I take this chest freezer out of here, I can turn that table around, and I can have 4 or 6 people sitting at that table. So that's pretty good in a little cabin when you think about it. I can actually put 4 or 6 people sitting at a nice kitchen table like that. Now, the stuff on my table, if you're wondering why it's so cluttered, I've got some brand new LED lights. That's what those are. Those are under-the-counter LED lights. That's another type of LED light from my bathroom. I'm replacing my halogen lights and my fluorescent lights with LEDs because they use a lot less power. So I've got all my tools and stuff out here and some paint and some things I'm working on because I'm still doing my remodels. But I'm going to be installing those. They're a nice, they have 3 LEDs on each light. They're a track light and they are directional so you can move them. I'm going to put these underneath my counters and my new cabinets. Now that's the other thing I added, and that's what this is. I added some brand new cabinets in here. Now, because my roof in here is only 7 feet to the peak, I had to get some cabinets that would fit in there. And so what I got is these laundry cabinets, which are not as deep, and so they don't take up as much room. And those work perfectly. I think I paid about $120 for each cabinet. And those are 3 cabinets wide and with lots of room inside them so that I can... This one here is over the kitchen table, and it will be used for food storage. And I'm going to put all my food storage, and I can get 6 months worth of supply of food storage into a cabinet like that. I get a lot of the bulk items when they come on for canned goods and stuff like that. So I'll fill that up all with my food supply. Okay, so that's good storage in a small cabin, is to get these cabinets like this and just put them against the wall. They don't take up a lot of room. You don't really notice them. They're not that obnoxious sticking out in your way. Now, the other thing that I did add, I finally broke down and got an air conditioner. Okay?
even though I've never really needed an air conditioner in this cabin because it is well insulated. And because I do have a porch that helps to shade it, and I keep my windows shaded and that like that, well, it's starting to get a little bit hot for a couple of weeks in the summer. So I broke down and got one of these little 5,000 BTU air conditioners because they are low power. And what I can do is I can run this either off of my generator, and what I do is I run it for maybe an hour just to cool the place down. And then with all the doors closed and everything like that, it stays cool in the cabin. I don't have to run it all day long. It will also run off of solar if you want to run it off of solar, but then you're going to drain your batteries down pretty fast if you do that. So I just run it off a generator. You know, a half a dollar worth of gas will run it for a day, for a couple hours to keep the cabin cooler. So I installed a small air conditioner in my cabin. No reason we have to be uncomfortable in our small cabins. If you want air conditioning, you can get them. Get one of these small units. This one's made by Frigidaire. It's a 5,000 BTU model. And so now I have air conditioner in my cabin. And then I added some shelves, some hanging stuff up in here. Now the light's kind of playing with the camera here, so I'm sorry if it kind of goes dark and then goes light again. Now my kitchen remodel. One of the things that I really needed to do in this cabin was remodel my kitchen, because if any of you seen some of my older videos, I just had cedar fence boards up there on my wall, and I had all my stuff just open and stacked on top of those, and it was a real mess. So here's another one of those cabinets I put in. And again, this is for all my dishes and stuff like that, and I got new dishes, and you know, I got a couple of new pans hanging up in there. And then I replaced the countertop, as you can see there. That's a brand new Formica countertop. I still haven't finished this end over here. I need to put the end on it. But I cut a new Formica countertop. I got a good deal on that because it was left over from some guy that didn't pick it up at Lowe's. So I got that for, you know, I think $30 for a 5-foot piece of Formica countertop. And I cut the hole and put the sink back in it. And you can see I do have a microwave in my place too. Also, again, the microwave is just run off the generator when I use it, but that's a lot faster. Since I'm outside a lot of times working on something anyway and have the generator running, I just plug in the microwave and heat up something for lunch or for dinner. That's quicker and doesn't use any propane. Since the generator's running anyway, I might as well use it. So yes, you can use microwaves and things like that in your off-grid cabins. Okay. Now, some other things, like I said, I'm into bikes and motorcycles, so I've got me a nice Harley stool. Okay, which kind of adds to it. And this is my fold-out counter, which I'll show you here, which I really like. It's a pine fold-out counter, and you can see it has a leaf on it right here. The leaf opens up to make it a lot wider. So in my kitchen when I'm working, if I got a lot of pots and pans and things that I'm working on, then I'll fold this leaf out, and I use this for my food preparation area. And it's on rollers, okay? So this can be rolled out of the way. If I want more room here, if I want to pull this table out and have a big party, play some cards or something like that, play games, I can pull this table out here into the living room, roll this counter up right up against the stove, and that gives me all kinds of room. So having it on rollers really helps here. So those are nice features, and I'll show you on the other side of it what it looks like. Okay, so I already had this. I've had it for quite a while now. You can see it needs to be refinished, but still works really well. Has a drawer underneath it and 2 cabinets underneath it. Also used for food storage. Has that leaf, and it's on rollers, so I can roll that right out of the way. Really like that cabinet. If you can find one of those, either used or new, they work really well in small places for adding storage, and they're nice because you can roll them out of the way. So, in my kitchen, I also repainted these cabinets. Now these are handmade base cabinets because underneath this sink is my water tank. I'll open this up so you can see. You can see my water tank down there. That's a 35-gallon water tank. And my cabin is set up a lot like a self-contained RV. It has its own water tank that I fill up from my well from a hose outside with a filter on it. And that way the water doesn't freeze. Now my water is free-flowing outside, but I need a tank to hold it so it doesn't freeze in the wintertime. So that tank there holds my water, and then I use a DC 12-volt pump, and the pump pumps that up to my sink up there. And also you can see a little hose line running through there. That line runs over to my shower and my bathroom sink, okay? And so then I've got fresh water running both into my sink here and into my bathroom and in my shower. So I had to repaint these and do some finish work on the top of them. And then I went and bought those 2 doors. You can see those doors right there. I bought those. They were also left over at a cabinet shop. I asked them, hey, have you got any doors that maybe you're left over, maybe a little scuffed up, maybe somebody didn't get or want? And so they gave me those, and I got those for $10 a door at a cabinet shop, and then I added my own handles and hinges to them, okay? And over here, this base cabinet holds my propane stove. Now, how many people do you know have a Harley stove in their house, okay? This is custom designed by me. This stove is actually out of a 1964 camp trailer that I used to live in before I built the cabin. I pulled it out, built the cabinet around it, and then it was kind of an ugly gold color. And so what I did is I pulled up the door and the top off of it, and I used some black high temperature spray paint, and I spray painted that and polished it all up nice, shiny chrome. And then I got a Harley emblem to match my Harley stool, my other stuff, and I attached that Harley emblem to it. So now I got a custom Harley stove to go in my cabin. Pretty cool, huh? And then that little cabinet door there is actually also out of that same camper, and I just refurbished it and painted it and put it down there. And underneath there is where I store all my big pots and my, excuse me, my cast iron kettles and stuff like that. All goes down underneath my stove down there. Up above, here's that brand new cabinet. I have got some blinds on this window. I need to put the blinds on the rest of my windows. And I just hand wash my dishes. So there's my dish drainer over there. Place for preparing my coffee. Now, underneath this, you'll see I've got some, this is granite. And I got these real cheap. They were practically giving away these granite blocks. 1 by 1 square floor tile granite. And so what I did is I got a couple of those. There's some more underneath there. And I used my brother's wet saw, and I cut those down to size so they fit on top. Now I really like granite because if you have something hot to sit down, it won't scorch the granite. Okay? It's also really easy to clean up. You can just wipe it off with a rag and it doesn't stain. So I've got granite countertops all around the top of my stove there now. So that's another feature that I just added with this remodel. And like I said, I put in a new stove hood, range hood. This has a fan. This is ventless. It does not require an outside vent, which is why I got it. And it's 12 volt. These are designed for RVs. It has 2 switches, 1 switch for the light, 1 switch for the fan. And it underneath, if you can see it, there's the filter that can be taken out and cleaned. And that way you don't get oil and other stuff and smoke all in your cabins when you're cleaning them up. And I like the ventless. That way I didn't have to cut another hole in the side of my cabin wall. And that one ran my budget over because it was pretty expensive. That cost me about 80 bucks. But I got it on eBay. If you're looking for them, just type in RV hood range hood and it'll come up. So there's my custom stove and my shiny new range hood. And then I've got my fridge, which I've showed you before, my Edge Star fridge that has a freezer on it. And, whoops, there's my beer up there. And I've also got this ARB fridge down here. Right now I'm testing out this ARB fridge to see how it works. What I'm probably going to do is put the chest freezer out into the new edition and this new fridge out there. And then I'll just, inside here, I'll use just the ARB fridge. And when I want something, I'll just go get it out of the freezer, put it in this ARB fridge, because it uses less than 1 amp of power. So I really like that because it doesn't drain down my system, and it also keeps things really, really cold because it's well insulated. So if you're wondering why I have so many fridges, I'm testing this one out right now to see which one I like best in my cabin here. Okay, so that's about it for the remodel. All new wall, pine paneling, new shelves, new cabinets. Now, as you can see, I have not done my ceiling yet. I'm going to use this same wall material here on the ceiling. I just haven't got to it yet, but I'm going to leave some exposed beams because I like exposed beams. So I'm going to leave some exposed beams. I just haven't quite figured out exactly how I want to do it yet. But the ceiling will also be covered in this white pine tongue and groove paneling. So there you can see my remodel and what I've been up to. As you can see, I've been a busy boy. Trying to get this place looking a little bit nicer for me to be a little bit more comfortable. Now I need to do my bathroom, and I got a new vanity sink to go in there, fix up my shower and do the walls in there. And I'll give you just a little peek. Back there in that cabinet, if you can see it, I'll get to where I can get some light here. Back there in that cabinet there is going to be 4 new 12-volt AGM glass mat batteries. You can see 2 of them back in there. And my solar system will now be centered so that I don't have to get out on the roof to get it. And that's my other project I'm working on. So I will show you in another video how I revamp my solar power system. Okay, folks. Well, I hope you like this video. I hope you like seeing my place, what I've been up to. I am still alive and kicking and still making videos. Gonna have some more videos coming out. I will show you the revamp on my solar power system, and I will also be putting up my solarium porch because the weather's starting to get a little bit colder here. So I'll show you how to put your solarium porches on so you can reduce your heating costs in the winter. Got a couple other projects I'm working on, so I'll be making some more videos here real soon. So please do subscribe to my channel, give my videos a like, share on your other blogs and Google Plus and all that sort of stuff. And you can also visit my website, simplesolarhomesteading.com, where I have lots of ebooks and plans and things available there for you to help you with your off-grid building, construction, and please look at all my videos. There's over 100 videos on my channel now, so you should be able to find something there that you're interested in if you really want to learn about off-grid homesteading. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and have a great day.